This video contains subject matter that may be offensive and disturbing to some people. If you are the type to require a warning throughout a video or show, let this message serve as your warning. This channel discusses the harsh reality of true crime. If this warning is not sufficient for you, consider a different genre and unsubscribe from my channel immediately. Yo, what's up? Alright, yeah. So the Portland Timbers won the Western Conference Finals. And then tomorrow, the Philadelphia Union, Cairo's team, amazingly. Hey, thank you, Cassandra Morris and Cairo. Cairo's team, the Philadelphia Union, will be playing New York. Unfortunately, though, the Philadelphia Union's players are all on, like, literally half their team is on some sort of, like, COVID protocol shit. So I don't even know if they can play or anything, but we won, and now we're in the championship of Major League Soccer, and hopefully we play the Philadelphia Union. That'd be awesome. He actually sent me a shirt, like last year, of the Philadelphia Union, expecting me to wear it constantly. Unbelievable. Hell no, man. I'm wearing my Timbers shirt. If we're playing you, why would I wear the Philadelphia Union? That's crazy. And then today I played in a golf tournament. There was 26 teams, and we got third in the what was it? The gross. Well, actually, it was net, but we got third in gross too. But they just give you whatever one you win the most money in. But out of 26 teams, we got third. But we played just so unbelievable. I mean, I don't even know how to explain what was going on there. None of us played well, right? Like, if each one of us was playing our own round of golf, we would have been terrible. But it's called hamming and egging, where everybody just seems to pull off something at the right time. And it was incredible. I mean, the first hole, what was that one? On the back, yeah, it took us 3 shots on the par 5 to get on, and put it back about 10 feet away, made that one, got a birdie. Second hole, parred that one. Then on the next hole, a really long par 4 that nobody probably birdied at all. We just barely got on the green in 2 and had like a 60-footer. I went first, and the ball rolled up, and it, then it trickled down about 6 feet away. And then my friend Ken, he putted it, and the ball, it was like a 60-footer, and it just went right in. It was unbelievable. 50, at least 50 feet, just goes right in. So then we're 2 under after 3 holes, and then the next hole, the par 3, everybody almost made it. I mean, 2 of them were right in the heart and stopped an inch short. It was crazy. Then we birdied the next hole. I mean, it just went crazy how it just back and forth. Everybody, like 3 of us would hit terrible drives, and then one of us would hit one that was just fair and in the fairway, right? Then we do something with that, and it just... So we ended up being 11 under at a shot of 61 as a team, and that was way up in the top, 3 or 4 teams. So anyways, all right, 2 months for Cassandra Morris and Angela Alex. So I know that's a boring topic for you guys, but it was so amazing. The 61 that we shot was a miracle. I mean, if we had shot a 70, it would have been, that's about what we'd expect, because nobody was hitting very good shots, but we just made every one of us made birdie putts. Everybody gets to hit the ball from the same spot, so it's a scramble tournament. Yeah, it was really crazy. Yeah, my foot was okay. I had it in my. It doesn't hurt at all. After that procedure, it was weird. It just looks funny. But I keep putting. I soak it in salts and put some antibiotic cream and a wrap on it. Fit into my shoe nicely. So, anyways. Awesome. Yeah, I won't be wearing the Union shirt. Yeah. Especially if we're playing now. Hey, we only have 98 people watching. Must not be covering the right topic again. Yeah, and then the shooter, it actually wasn't. They were still out on the run yesterday, and they got caught, and the parents are. I don't know. I don't know why that story was just. I'm just not. I don't really like covering shooters like that, the school shootings and things. It just seems so. There's nothing. It's not interesting. You know what I'm saying? It's just sick. Is all it is. Now, yeah. What are we gonna bet? Yeah. Anyways, we are now on the 4th day of the month. We're doing every night of the week's the same thing. We try to get super chats in here, and that goes helping the channel out and the charities. And you can see on the screen, I don't have to go through it again, but 41,000 for the year so far to true crime related charities. And if you can point to any of the the really big channels, the big ones that are 300,000 people, maybe 500. If they donate anywhere near that, give me a call, okay? And so that's because of the generosity of the freaks. Anyways, I don't know who sent it. Maybe it was Julie or whatever. It was like there was these 4 women killed in New Jersey in 2006. And they were all lined up and specifically laid out, and definitely a serial killer. And I'd never heard of it, so I thought we'd go over that one. And then maybe open up the lines later. The numbers on the screen aren't going to be... they aren't going to work at this point. Yeah, okay, Sister Serious. Hey, you gotta be really in the know, everybody. Say AC4. You gotta say AC4, everybody. If you say AC4, you can tell everybody that you're really into it and you follow it all the time. Just say AC4. Make sure to tell all your friends you discussed AC4, and they'll say, what's that? Well, oh, what, you've never heard of it? Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I think most people here have never heard of it, okay? But the really cool people have. They're the ones that refer to it as AC4, Yeah. I guess, I don't know, Cairo. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But you're not supposed to, go ahead and tell, what's going to be discussed later. I guess we don't have to go over it now. Yeah, I've never heard of it myself. It's got a whole bunch of different articles. We can get it mapped out and everything like that. Okay, well maybe they do, maybe they don't. I know that they are starting to intensify some of their stuff, so I thought maybe you heard something. Okay. Yeah, but I don't want anybody referring it to the New Jersey 4 or anything like that. If you don't say AC4, we know that you are not in and cool. Just like if you don't say LE or BG, right, Cairo? Well, I hope you... wow. I hope it's not going to be about true crime, Jenna. Yeah. Yeah, I hope you start some other topic. It's getting too many people doing it. It's just... Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, no problem. My fine. Yeah, it must be a cooling system. Yeah, actually, I had to get up pretty early to get out there. After it was over, we got chilly and everything. Yeah. It's just everybody wants to do true crime, true crime, true crime, true crime. You know, and it sucks for the rest of us who've been doing it for years, and people just come in and, you know, instead of doing it the right way, they suck up all the oxygen out of the room by selling a bunch of garbage to a lot of people. And if I was running the show on YouTube, I'd get rid of the channels that put out false information on true crime, because that's a crime in itself. Oh yeah, remember that? The bags, the bag of bones that Cairo went out there. We sent him out there so we could ask questions. That was crazy. Yard, Barbara. Yeah. Ah, jeez. Oh God, another true crimer. All right. Anyways, let me get out here. Yeah, but I don't want people copying what I do. So, you know, I just do my own thing. If you feel like you can, contribute somewhere that nobody else is doing, then go ahead. But to me, it's just absolutely too many people at this point. I don't know what to tell you. It's just stupid right now. Nobody's unique. Nobody has their own, like they're doing anything. Our channel actually makes a difference. That's the difference between us and the other ones. And I map things out and make sure that we all know what's going on, and then we theorize based on that. But there's a lot of people, they try to copy what you do, and then they try to claim that they're the ones that thought of it. And then some people think, like, when they start a channel, that I'm supposed to go out and say, hey, everybody, go watch. I don't do it that way. The thing is in the true crime world, unless you're actually working with somebody like, Chasing, we have a channel together. It's like having your own food cart, right? So imagine having about 10 food carts downtown, and then all these people are at your food cart, and you go, hey, you know what, have you guys ever tried that food cart over there? Hey, have you ever tried that one over there? They got really great shit. Don't ever come to mine again. That one's awesome. Yeah, there isn't a soul in the world that would do that. And that's why it's ridiculous when people come in and they start shouting out again, that would be sort of like you standing in line at Joe's food cart going, hey, I ate at Steve's food cart yesterday. God dang, it was good. It was the greatest damn food cart I've ever seen. I tell you what, they really had a great, and then everyone goes, oh, really? Oh, shit, let me go check that one out. And then soon they're eating at Steve's food cart. Right? And see, that's exactly what it is as a YouTube channel, okay? Unless you're working alongside somebody with something. Does anybody get that analogy? I hope you do. Because everybody's channel is something they build up on their own. I don't spend time trying to help somebody build up their channel, because really almost nobody helped me out. And that's why I'm at where I'm at. I'm at 69,000 because I don't go over and say, hey, can you shout me out on your show? Yay! I just do my own thing. And if you like my channel, you like it. If you don't, get the hell out of here. I don't care. Boom, boom, boom. All right? Awesome. So I just do my own thing. That's why it slowly moves up. For some reason, it's just frozen right around this 430 to 460, 450, boom. It just sits there. So I won't be helping anybody out. And I also don't like when people come in and on my show and go, hey, I'm going to start a channel. So everyone goes, hey, have you started your channel yet? When they start the channel. Okay, it's all a marketing gimmick by people, you know. Like I don't need to know that you're starting a channel. Just do what you got to do, go start a channel. But I'm not going to be shouting out and telling people to go watch it, all right? And that's just the reality of it. All right, so anyways, I'm going to get started on this right here. Hope you guys don't think what I'm saying is too hard. Hey, thank you. Your Gypsy. Here's my little donation. Surgery Wednesday, so a little tight. Oh, you're a little nervous? Yeah. Well, hope your surgery goes well. Yeah. See what I'm saying? I hate waiting for a surgery. You're always just kind of wondering about how it's going to go. Yeah, okay, Jenna. All right. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I want everybody to eat at my food cart. You get what I'm saying? Yeah, I hope you're... I mean, you don't have to share what kind of surgery it is, but, you know, we'll all put out some positive vibes for your... What day is your surgery, your Gypsy? Yeah, my feet are doing a hell of a lot better all around. Richard. Yeah, my left toe is getting better. My right big toe has nothing, no pain in it at all. Yeah, eat it, graze. There you go. Anyways, we'll be getting onto the case here in a minute. I know there's a whole Delphi shit going on of just the idiots of YouTube, but that's cool. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I had gout. My wife kept buying me... She kept buying these huge trays of shrimp, BG. Yeah, don't worry about it, Jenna. It's just... I don't know why you need to give... There's just so many people doing it right now. It's crazy. It's like this new fad that everybody wants to do, the true crime. But, yeah, BG... I'm assuming you're not, bridge guy, right? But yeah, she used to buy a bunch of... How come everybody typed in gout again? Somebody already typed in gout. Yeah, I had gout in my right toe, because she kept buying these huge trays of shrimp, even though I had an attack before, and I thought, well, if I just eat 4 pieces here, 4 pieces there, 5 pieces there, maybe 3, 5, but after a while, well, shit, I had 30 pieces of shrimp this week. Uh-oh. And then after a while, my toe started hurting, and then kind of really my whole foot. And so I haven't had any shrimp or any kind of shellfish for, God, I don't know, 2 months now. And it's completely gone out of my foot, my right foot. And then my left foot was a toenail. The toenail was inside, ingrown a little bit. So they cut out and pulled it out and put acid in there to burn the sides, so it won't ever grow there again, my nail. And then boom, so everything's good. Yeah, well, covering missing persons cases is great, but it never ends up like that. Once you start doing a show, you'll see, ooh, I can get a lot of subs if I start covering this one. Look at this, it's a really big case. And if I can make it more sensationalistic, I can even get more people. So that's just kind of how it works. People always... I cover missing persons, cold cases, and sometimes, active, current cases in the news as well. And every once in a while, something that's been solved. Yeah. And I don't mind, I'll help somebody out if their channel's a different topic. It doesn't matter to me. But if they do live shows, then it is a problem, because if they do a live show when I'm doing a live show, then they have to choose between two different food carts. That's one of the problems. So if you help out somebody else that's doing something, live show, then I don't know. I'm just telling you the reality of it. People don't understand that a lot of times. They don't think about it. Alright, so anyways, let me get started on this. And that's before. How could that possibly be? Oh, that's the wrong year. Hold on a second. Yeah, it should have been 2007. I knew something didn't look right there. Alright, so hold on. Let me get over to New Jersey over here. And as you can tell tonight, nobody's eating any food at my cart. Alright, where was this one? No, that's supposed to be 2007. Come on. Very few. Alright, here we go. We're going to 11/21, 2006. Get back over there. Yeah. Alright, here we go. The dead bodies of 4 women were found Monday afternoon behind a motel outside Atlantic City. Hence AC4, everybody. Yeah. The bodies were found face down in several inches of water in a ditch, officials said. One of the bodies was discovered by 2 women walking along an access path, and police then found the other 3 bodies. The bodies were some distance apart from each other. Atlantic County Prosecutor Jeffrey Blitz said none was identified. Hey, there you go. Patty Barnett bought a hamburger. Maybe we need to have one of those too. We'll have we'll have a food cart, and you can order something, and as soon as you order it, I push a button, and there's a burger. Okay. we got to throw them all out there, because the thing is, this channel, the fundraising, it does help my channel out too. But the amount of charity money, $41,000 this year. Last year was 22, and we thought, God, that's amazing. Our goal this year is 25. Well, shit, I mean, that was a long time ago, the 25, and now we're probably gonna get to 44, depending on how this month goes, and that would be doubling last year. There you go, and Marty McFly will have a large strawberry shake, please. Oh, and Lee D bought a hot dog. There you go. You know what I should do? I need to have a food cart where I'm sitting behind it. Oh, yeah. We got that. We got the apple. Yeah. Oh, you want some Pepsi? Yeah. Hey, thank you, Diamond Painting with Anxiety. Shrimp cocktail for me. Well, that's really nice of you. Thank you, because I can't eat shrimp anymore. Okay? Thank you very much. Yeah, I don't even know what you're talking about, Jenna. But anyways, I can't eat shrimp. So thank you for rubbing it in. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, people can do whatever the hell they want to do, Doesn't, you don't have to... I'm just saying there's so many people that do true crime right now. It's just, you know. But if it, you know, if you feel like you can help the missing. See, right now Jenna's trying to create drama, you know, and get her name out there by creating drama. Just do whatever the hell you want, Jenna. God, Jesus. I'm just saying, it's not really, it's right now, there's so many people doing true crime. It's ridiculous. It's, you know, but if you can find an angle and you're really out there making a difference, then do it. Because I got gout in shellfish creates this uric acid buildup in some people, and it just creates a big problem. Yeah. Really painful. But can we get on to I want to get onto the case. If that's cool. I'm going to put you on timeout. You're acting pretty strange. So, all right, here we go. The bodies were found face down in several inches of water in a ditch, officials said. One of the bodies was discovered by two women walking along an access path, and police then found the other three bodies. The bodies were some distance apart from each other, Atlanta County Prosecutor Jeffrey Blitz said. None was identified. A cause of death has not been determined, and an autopsy were scheduled for 8 a.m. Tuesday. The spot where the bodies were found is less than 200 yards from Atlantic City Visitor Welcome Center. So let's see where that is. Atlantic City Visitor. And we're going to go through this. So if you've already followed this one, I don't want to hear about it. Atlantic, until we're all done, then you can jump in with all the cool, neato stuff that you know. Atlantic City Visitor Welcome Center. Wow. Is that it right there? Ooh, a small hamburger, which you'll gladly get on Tuesday. Well, that one says Welcome Center. I don't know. Let me just put this here. There's a couple of them now. Oops, me. How much are we going to bet, Cairo, on this? Here, I'll even put AC4 because that can be really cool. Alright, so we got one visitor center. And let's see if we got another visitor center right here. I don't think that's the one, though. So I'm actually thinking that's it, because it actually says welcome in that one. So, all right, so it's less than 200 yards from there. Okay, then the next day in the paper, at least 2 women were among the slain. At least 2 of the 4 women whose bodies were found in drainage ditch behind a string of motels were homicide victims, investigators said Tuesday. So let's see, are there hotels around here? I don't even know if this is, you know, the right spot, but we'll figure that out later, you know. One of the women was in her 20s and has been identified by her name but her name's being withheld pending notification of relatives, Blitz said. The autopsy found she had been strangled. The other homicide victim was asphyxiated by unspecified means, according to medical examiner Dr. Hidao Park. Blitz said the investigation began shortly after 3 p.m. Monday when 2 women walking along there we go, just a second. Walking along an access road behind the motel, found a body in a ditch by the side of the road. The road and the ditch run parallel to Black Horse Pike. Okay, let's try to see where that is. Okay. So that's Black Horse Pike. The road and ditch run parallel to the Black Horse Pike and the Atlantic City Expressway. Okay, that's the Atlantic City Expressway. So the ditch ran parallel. I wonder why they want to... Well, the expressway is right next to that visitor center there. Police found the other 3 bodies in a line east of the first. All the women appeared to be white, and all were lying face down with their heads pointed east. So that's a signature right there. None were wearing shoes or socks, and the bodies were in various states of decomposition. So that means they'd been placed there over time. The bodies had not been covered, but a line of shrubbery along the access road kept them from plain view, Blitz said. Police said they do not know how the bodies were placed there. The first body found recently behind the Golden Key Motel. So let's see where that is. Golden Key Motel. Is it still called that? No, that's red. Shit. This is 2006, so you'd hope some of these would still be there. The first body was found directly behind the Golden Key Motel on Black Horse Pike, Blitz said. The woman appeared to be in her 20s and was approximately 5'6" and weighed 140 pounds. Blitz said she was wearing capri camouflage pants and a white tank top with the words Hard Rock Cafe on the front. That woman has been identified, and the cause of her death was strangulation. Blitz said he believed her body had been in the water for a few days. The second woman's body was found 148 feet east of the first, Blitz said. She was 5 feet tall. So now I got to go find this one. Okay, so let's see. Let's try Motel on Black Horse Pike. Okay, well that's Pinecrest, Green Terrace. So maybe they changed where this visitor center is located now. I guess we'll just have to keep looking. But this is Black Horse Pike right here. I don't think there's another. Well, what's this say? That's Atlantic 640. This is also on Black Horse Pike. Let me take a look at what it looks like on the ground there. Yeah, so it's not here for sure. That visitor center is there. How about this spot? Plaza Motel. Let's that kind of. Let's put this right here. let's see. The third woman was wearing blue jeans, capri pants, and a long-sleeved brown zipper jacket. She was 5'7", 145 pounds. She is believed to be in her 30s and was found 90 feet east of the second body. And what did this one? About 148 feet, 90 feet. The cause of her death was inconclusive. The fourth woman was found 83 feet east of the third body, Blitz said. She was described as being in her 20s, 5'8", and weighing 120 pounds. Blitz said she was wearing blue jeans, a red hooded sweatshirt, and black bra. She had a butterfly tattoo in the small of her back and was believed to have been in the water up to a week. Let's see. 3 of the women appeared to have blonde hair, Blitz said. The fourth had dark hair, he said. No link to the killings. Blitz said there have been 3 other homicides in Egg Harbor Township since the beginning of this year, but there is no evidence to suggest that they're linked. On Tuesday afternoon, a command center had been set up. Dozens of police cars packed the parking lot. Yellow police tape kept onlookers about 100 feet away. Investigators were heavily dressed for cold weather as they tramped through the marsh and surrounding area. The nearly mile-long stretch of motels just outside of Atlantic City had been targeted by township police in the past. It's bad, very bad, said Parrish Paddle. Paddle is the cousin whom he declined to name, is in England for a wedding. A man who was working the front desk at the motel declined to comment. So did those working at the Fortune Inn and the Star Inn. So is there a Fortune Inn around here? Jeez, how about Star? Okay, well there's Star Motel, so that's closer to the... Well, let's put that down as... That's Star Motel, not Inn. So, who knows? Man, this is pretty, it's not very specific here. I mean, they're trying to be specific. Another resident, Fatima Smith, said she has lived in the motel for nearly 3 months. She's been there longer than most who make their way through the transient haven, but she minds her own business. Jesse Majette, a New York resident, checked into the Golden Key Motel shortly before 1 p.m. So Golden Key, is that not around? Let's see. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that doesn't exist. How could all those be gone? The turnover rate's crazy. Probably after, the 2008 with the financial crisis and maybe even COVID. All right. Cause of death unknown for 2. Authorities investigating the death of 4 women found in a drainage ditch said Wednesday they were unable to determine how 2 of them died because their bodies were too badly decomposed. The 2 had been dead for at least 2 weeks, Atlantic County Prosecutor Jeffrey S. Blitz said. One could have been dead for up to a month. Atlantic County Medical Examiner Dr. Heidel Park concluded the other 2 women were victims of homicides, one by smothering and the other by strangulation with a rope or cord. The women's barefoot bodies were found Monday in several inches of water behind a row of motels along Route 40, also known as Black Horse Pike. just outside Atlantic City. Okay, black, yeah. The bodies, which were, let's see, what does it say? Several inches of water behind a row of motels along Route 40. So this is, okay, Route 40. Let's see if we got the right place here. Yeah, so yeah, there's 40. Yeah, see, and that's, so this is the right road here. We got that. The bodies, which were without feet shoes, I'm sure it's going to say something like that. Within 320 feet of each other, were face down, their heads pointed east. I wonder when they may say pointed east, like their whole body was rotated or their head was turned. No arrests have been made, and investigators have not said if they believe the killings were carried out by the same person. Well, of course it were. Investigators have identified only one of the four women, Kim Raffo, 35, most recently lived in a boarding house in the 100 block of Ocean Avenue. So, might as well put that in there. Thanks, Amber Maiden. Yes, everybody, pretend you are following the wave of Amber Maiden and buying a hamburger and a hot dog. All right. We got 100 Ocean Avenue. So this is where she lived, apparently. Is there a boarding house here? Wow. Thank you. Well, they said she lived right there. Thank you. Thank you, Amber Maiden, Lee D, Rita Schaefer, Cindy Leon, and Linda Howell, as in Lyndon Molden Howe of the Cattle Mutilations and Crop Circles. So this is Raffo, right? 100 block of Ocean Avenue in Atlantic City. Ocean Avenue. Oh, so this guy was going somewhere else, right? So maybe that's not the right... Okay, that's not even the right spot. It seemed too far away, so maybe right down here. Thanks, Dottie D. Okay, right there. You know, you wonder if it was right here and they've torn down that. Boarding house, Kim Raffo. Yeah. This looks like it's a much better chance of being the right spot here. Looks like a pretty crappy 135. Yeah, it could be, that could be it right there. I mean, is this, was it listed as anything? Yeah, there's an Orange Loop Beach House, Boardwalk. So what is that specifically? Is that a... Hmm. Yeah, I bet you it's something more like this. This one. But there could have also been a building right there. So, anyways, right around this area. Let's go back in time. Let's just go to 2006. Nothing. 2007, still nothing there. So that, I don't think that was, I think it's probably either right there or here. I'm actually going to guess that building. That looked like a boarding house to me, this one. Thank you, Alice Patak. Thank you very much. Yeah. So, I mean, don't you think that looks like a boarding house that we were just looking at, as opposed to, you know, I guess that could be one too, right? What do you think? Definitely could be. What do you think? Do you think it's this one or this one? Yes, thank you for the wave. Yeah. I mean, I was just going to make a comment from earlier. I mean, if somebody wants to do a true crime channel just dedicated to missing persons or something like that, I think it's a cool thing to try to go do, because as long as you just keep doing all kinds of missing persons over and over and over and over again, if you're the one that's only going to cover the missing persons of the really popular cases, then I'm just not interested in anything that you're doing. Okay, cover all the missing persons cases, or some, you know, it's okay to do the popular ones, but also do a whole bunch of the other ones too, even if you're sacrificing getting a ton of subs. Hey, thanks, Mary Ellen DeMillo. Alright, so, you know, the more the merrier on the missing persons. It's just, I'm getting a little bit, I don't know, don't you guys feel the same way a little bit? Just the craziness that's going on with all of the different channels and all of the just wild speculation that's going on. And nobody's really trying. I don't know, it just seems like it's all about subs. So you think it's this one over here, right here? I think it could be that one too, because it looks worse than this one. So, well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to put it right in the middle. Then it's either one of those, right? It's really disheartening, because those channels siphon off people, and I guess it's not a bad thing because they're the dumb people, but at the same time, you know, you hope to get viewers and to build up your channel, but instead they're like, ooh, 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 we can keep talking about the same thing over and over again. Ooh, 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 ooh. And it's all bogus speculation, but yeah, this is awesome, you know, and I don't know how to combat it. All right, so let me move on to the now we're going to get a picture of apparently the spot here. Okay, so let's try to, what does that thing say? Is that like, it says something hotel. Well, anyways, let's just see if we can find that in the general area of where we already had the pins right here. So is this, yeah, that sort of looks like that. Does this look totally different back in? No. It's wild. Okay, there's a Star Motel. Let's see if there's something more in this area that... Nope, that's not it. I think it's just off of this road here, but it's brutal. So many changes have been made. That's the Star Motel. And I don't want any, I'm just going to look for it myself. I want to figure it out through by reading the article. You know, it's interesting. What do you guys think this says? Maybe that's how you can help. What does that say right there? It looks like something hotel. Is that like Glarion, or can you see that? Let me zoom in more for you and then go over it. Right there. Here's what I'm gonna do. Hey, cotton candy, all right. I used to love cotton candy. I mean, I didn't love it like where I just wanted to keep eating it, but it was kind of like after you could eat a whole bunch of it and it was still yummy, but then you're like, oh boy, that's just a lot of sugar. Thanks, yep. Yeah, I don't see Gowan, but hold on one second. Yeah, it looks like Clarion to me. Could be G something. Oh, wait. Yeah, we can do this. We can do this. We can do this. We can do this. Hold on. Ah. Chloe, what's going on, Chloe? Thank you, Sister Sirius, New York. There we go. View, extra, bang, bang, image, adjustment, brightness, contrast. See, this is where that stuff works. Watch. Okay, bam. You should be able to see that a hell of a lot better now. Looks like, that almost looks like a G to me. Looks like Glarion or C Clarion. I don't know. What do you guys think? Right there is a good one. Yeah, right there is the best, actually. Can you see it? See how you can read that better now by changing the contrast? That's why people change contrast and brightness, not the colors and everything. Oh, Clarion in, Clarion in. Where is it? Oh, way down there? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, that can't be it. Shoot. I mean, there was a Clarion. Yeah, no, that's not it. Definitely not. Okay, let me go back to the original article really. Well, no, not the original, the second one. And they said it was, I think it was the second page of that one. And then I'm going to try a different technique here. Yeah, so like, where is this? It's behind the strip of motels along Black Horse Pike in Egg Harbor Township. Okay, let's try that one. Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey. So, yeah, it's not. It's more over here. So let's see. Okay, that's the road. Yeah, I bet you it's right around, and I bet you it's more in this area. Okay, but what I was going to do here is, it said the bodies have been recovered, but a line of shrubbery along the access road kept them from. The first body was found recently behind the Golden Key Motel. Okay, so now let's try a different technique here by going to Golden Key Motel, New Jersey, 2006, actually, let's say 2000 to 2006. Okay, so that's before, well, no, wait, that would be November 22nd. Anything before, let's see, let me move this to 2005 so we don't get the upper keys. Golden, oh, there it is. Let's see. This in, oh, that's Sacramento. I need, God. There we go. Golden, there it is. There's that. So maybe it'll have an address here. Parking lot. Let's see. Listed in critical condition. Influence of alcohol. When he staggered from the motel's parking lot, he was struck by a vehicle driven by Johnny something Tuesday in front of the Golden Key Motel. Police said no charges. Yeah, crap. Come on, give me an ad for them. Huh? Yeah, I've got all kinds of pictures, Regina. Just let me cover the case. All right, thank you. All right, here we go. I've got a whole bunch of articles. I don't know where they're from or anything like that. I don't have time to look up somebody else's newspapers. I just have what I have, and it just is what it is.
Gosh, Gray, you're so mean. People are just trying to help you.
Yeah, I know that. It's just, I like to just do the show and get through it, maybe at the end. Yeah. Alright, anyways, I'm just gonna, that was hard to see. The second woman's body was found 140 feet away. So we just need to know where that damn Golden Key Motel was. You know, it doesn't seem like they put out the... Yeah. Nice. So that's the image right there. Bodies of 4 women found in Egg Harbor Township. White dots on the photo indicate the body's location. Oh, right there. These things. 1, 2, 3. Those. Where's the 4th one? Maybe here. I don't know. I can't see that very well. There's a train track. Let's see. I think it's in this area down here. Although that place is the yeah, well, got stuck on this too long. Let me just go one more time down the road, check out it myself before I try something else. Yeah, there's all kinds of pictures in these articles, but some of them are in different places that aren't really related. Alright, let me just type it in. Maybe, well, it's only 2004, so maybe if I type in on Google or something. The name of that one was called the I'll have to go back up and find that again. Golden Key Motel. Let's try that. Golden Key Motel, Atlantic City. Yeah, there's the end of it. 2015. Oh, they actually mentioned their names in the article here, the victims. Say Glassy 70. Oh man. North Bergen man, da da da. Thirty-five Township Plan. Oh, there it is. 830 Black Horse Pike. I think that's it. Let's see. 830 Black Horse Pike. Oh, so it's way up there. Is that right? I guess that could be here. That's the address I have. I already did, Jen. I just typed it in. Did you see that? It's in the article. What do you mean try the one that was just on the screen? Right there in the article? Alright, let's see. And now I gotta go look at that picture again. It's weird. Let me go back in time to 2006. Oh, there you go. Well, kind of looks like that. Is it like that? Huh, that's bizarre. That doesn't look like the picture there. Everything's backwards. And now, well, there's the railroad tracks though. So hold on. That was around the back side of it. So it's like this. And if that's that'd be the 3. Man, that's so weird. Nothing looks the same again. Oh, sorry. I meant I left out a letter. I was gonna say that didn't seem to a number. So way over here? God, that's nowhere near. Oh, that's way into the town. See, we was thinking maybe right in this area, but this one's like on a bridge. Yeah, it's 8030. I meant to type in the other 0, but I think I did that same thing the other day. What was that? Oh no, yeah, when I went to get my toe fixed, I said out loud to Google Maps, I said, I need to go to 5050 northeast something or other, right? And it put 550 because I just said it out loud. It went, and then I was driving and I was in a completely wrong place, and then I had to what do you call it? Get in the car, and I had to call them up and say, hey, I'm going to be late. That's when I was going to get that procedure on my foot. Well, you didn't, Gen B. You typed it in. You think you did, but you're about 30 seconds behind, so that's the difference. So on your end, yeah, you might have, but yeah. All right, let's see. So it must be this angle right here. And now everything looks right. See that? And this is a 2000. Let me get to 2006. Ah, the other one was good. I like that one. That one. That was good. So that one looks exactly the same. And then they said white aerial view where the bodies of 4 women were found. So I think this is the hotel. And let's see if we go down to the street here. It's weird. It's amazing how one letter just causes it. Oh, it's gone now. See, totally gone. So those bodies were found right back there. And as a matter of, look at this craziness. See that thing right there? That big sign? That's this thing. So the first body was found right over. Well, it looks. Well, I can just do the more recent shot. Well, we can even use that. That's the couple of years. It's not even that long ago, like 4 or 5 years ago, when they tore it down. So using that one body was found about right here. Is anybody in the chat at all? It's just like nobody's typing in or saying anything. The first body, and then let's go back to the which article. There was one that was talking about, I think it was this one that mentioned how far apart everybody was. Yeah, it's this one right here. See, that was the other hotel. It's not even on the image anymore. Now it's Hotel Tennis Golf Sports. Like that makes any sense to anybody. Yeah. Anyways. So we've got the first one. Was approximately 5 feet 6 inches tall and weighed 140 pounds. Okay, and then it said the second woman's body was found 140 feet, 8 feet east. So now we can just take this, because that first one is almost right where it was. So if we go like this, put that on the feet, 148 feet, right there, and then put one on right there. Body 2. And then she was 5 feet tall. The third body was capri pants and long sleeve, brown zipper jacket. She was 5 feet 7, 145 pounds. She was 90 feet east of that body. So from here, and we put that there, and we get body 3. The fourth body was found 83 feet east, and Blue and Chloe are going nuts. Right there. Reck. And that was going to be body 4. So the picture in the paper is like that, and let's see how accurately that matches up with the picture on November 24th, 2006. Okay, the one that they're missing is one that should be. Oh, it looks like they. I'm not sure what that is right there. If that. Okay. It's interesting because they skipped one of the bodies, should have been right in that area. Look. See that? They've got. Well, it's hard to say, but you got this one and then these other two that are close. So you got that one and boom, boom, but there's another body right here. And apparently they were supposed to mark them all on there. There should be one about right, maybe right here. I think. No, I think what we're seeing is this one, and there's one off the screen maybe? I don't know. Because those are different than what I have. You know what I'm wondering, if this is the second one here. No, because there's that big gap. It's almost like they're missing the second one. I don't know for sure that that's number 1 though, right? Maybe that was, no, they're all the same. In a row. Okay, anyways. Awesome. Sorry for typing in 830. I meant to type in 803. You could see it on the screen there. Didn't look right either when I got there. But anyways, I'll be back in a second. Yeah, so let me go. There's another map that shows up later here. I think that's what who was that? Yeah, Regina was talking about. Hey, Regina, is Star Ledger in the is Star Ledger in the what do you call it? The newspapers.com? I guess we'll see when they pop up on the screen here. Yeah, I got the Courier News. Okay, so this is on the 26th here. It says husband mourns slain wife. Yeah, it does seem like Lisk, doesn't it? So it's weird. His wife was a sex worker? Because I think they say that most of these women were sex workers. The husband of a slain prostitute found near Atlantic City sat in front of a makeshift. I mean, how could you be a husband and allow your wife to do that? I just, I mean, I wouldn't. Yeah, that's just beyond me, really. Don't you think? I mean, was there any guy out there that would be okay with their wife being a sex worker, no matter how poor you were? It just doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't compute. I could never do that. Well, Gray, that just means you aren't very confident. Oh, shut the hell up, man. Give me a freaking break. Well, Lisk had, they had the burlap sacks and body parts. So, no, it wasn't a male sex worker. There's 3 guys. I mean, 4 women. There's no men here. What do you mean if he's gay? What does that have to do with it? What are you talking about? The husband of a slain prostitute found near Atlantic City sat in front of a makeshift cross. Oh, you mean he doesn't give a damn about his wife? I get what you're saying, Jennifer. Let's see. Whose body was found here less than a week ago at the makeshift memorial service Saturday. Friends and family of Kim Raffo described tormented women who left her husband and children. Oh, I see. So she left him and the children for a life of drugs and prostitution, a life that ended with the discovery of her strangled body. She deserved a better life, Hugh Oslander, 42, of Brooklyn, New York, said of his estranged wife, whose body was found. So she just bailed on him and the kids. Man, what a nightmare. His body was found with those of 3 other women in a ditch behind a strip of seedy motels in this town Monday. Authorities have made no arrests in the case that has terrified many of this gambling community and left some people wondering whether deaths are the work of a serial killer. I think it's pretty clear, right? Don't you think it's pretty obvious that it's a serial killer? What do you think, Gen B? Yeah, well, here's the thing. When we're doing with rewind mode, you guys are about 30 seconds behind me. So I understand when you guys type something in before, you think that I'm saying something, but I'll say something and your chat shows up right when you type it in. So that's the difference. What happens is I got to remember that when we're doing rewind mode that you guys are 30 seconds behind me. So there you go. Authorities have made no arrests in the case, and that has terrified many of this gambling community. She was trying to get her life together. Yeah, that's what you do when you leave a husband to go prostitute and do drugs. You're trying to get your life together. And she couldn't get away, said John Pesci, 46, of Ventnor, a self-described friend of Raffo, who was among a small group gathered outside the Golden Key Motel on Saturday. Pesci had tacked together 2 pieces of wood to make a cross with the word Kim. Authorities late Friday identified a second woman whose body was found in the ditch as Tracy Ann Roberts, 23, and continued efforts to identify the remains the remaining 2 women. They also released photos Saturday night showing tattoos that were found on the latter victims in the hope that someone would recognize them and provide clues to her identity. And there's the tattoos right there. These tattoos were found on one of the identified women, right there. Like a Playboy bunny and a bulldog. A task force has been assembled to comb through photographs, DNA samples, and distinctive markings on some of the bodies, attempt to identify them. Based on the degree of decomposition, the bodies appear to have been placed in the ditch at varying times. See, that's pretty crazy. See, it's weird that we're not sure if it's a serial killer. No, yeah, that's right. All these random people just put the bodies within feet of each other, facing the same direction, over a, different times, but not that long of a period of time. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Robert, whose last known address in Atlantic City, died from asphyxia, Atlantic County Prosecutor Jeffrey Blitz said Friday, but he said it's still not clear how she was killed. There are no new developments in the case, Saturday, spokesman for the prosecutor's office said. With yellow police crime tape still strung up nearby, Oslander, Saturday, let's see, what is that? Nearby Oslander. He later said that he read from a book from Psalm chapter 10, which is a prayer for the overthrow of the wicked. I just go with this one.
Evil can never be dead enough.
Yeah, there you go. Alright, this is on November 28th now. As authorities yesterday identified a third woman whose body was discovered in a ditch behind a string of seedy motels, several prostitutes and detectives have been showing a cell phone photo of a man they described as a person of interest. Barbara V. Breidor, Breidor, 42, of Ventur, was the third of 4 women whose bodies were found face down in a ditch last week to be identified according to the Atlanta County Prosecutor's Office. The body of Breidor, who was identified through dental records, has been in the drainage ditch for at least 2 weeks, authorities said. Like the other 2 victims who have thus far been identified, she has been involved in prostitution. See, how many times have I said, man, serial killers, after people quit hitchhiking, they became their victims. So they said, she described the man, let me see what they're saying there. They said he's a person of interest. Cell phone photo. She described the man as a white man with a scruffy beard and mustache, sporting a beer belly, spilling out over blue jeans, wearing a black baseball cap with gold insignia on it. Thanks, Kathy Freidenmaker. And by the way, I don't know, Jen B up there, I just want to remember that she did a, in the Jason Landry, that case where the kid, I think it's was it Texas? He was driving, and then his car crashed, and then his clothes is on the street, and he just disappeared out in the middle of nowhere. Well, she put together this huge petition that people are signing to get geofencing done. And so in my community section, if you see it in there, you should go over there and sign it. And she might call in later, I don't know, but if I get to the point where people can call in, she might call in and explain it. She actually talks to the father as well, so I don't know, that's a weird one. Did he just walk away and walk for miles stumbling around in the dark? Or did something else nefarious happen to him that nobody, there's no evidence of? But I think that's what the geofencing would do. You'd be able to tell if there's anybody's cell phones around there. Yeah, that's a weird one. That's right. Thank you, Kathy, for I didn't make her. Oops. Shit. She described the man as a white man, scruffy beard, he had beer belly, jeans, wearing a black baseball cap. He came off like he was severely hurt by someone, Giesel said. I was with him one time and he started crying and said, "You're the only one who ever held me." He was really into being held. Huh. That does sort of sound like a... Hill said the man was talking crazy talk and musing about having done bad things in his life, but did not specify what those were. Janet Nidasik, a spokeswoman for the prosecutor's office, would neither confirm nor deny the woman's assertions. Breidor's cousin, Lance Breidor, 45, of Perkiominville, God, jeez, said he hadn't talked to her in about 7 or 8 years, but he said he knew she had been moving around and was recently back in Jersey Shore area where their families spent time together. She was just a very fun, happy girl, Lance Breidor said of the times they spent together as children and teens. She seemed to be the type that would always be smiling and joking. Barbara was the oldest of 4 children, her cousin said. Her father died when she was young, and it was hard on the family, Lance Breidor said. He said Barbara's mother had remarried, and he was unsure of her last name. He said he had heard that his cousin may have had some drug problems toward her late years, but thought she had been getting away from those troubles. The last time he saw her, she was working at a shop in a mall. She seemed to be doing really well and happy and everything. The 4 women were found November 20th after police were told about a body discovered by 2 pedestrians. The other victims, whose identities are known, are Kim Raffo, 35, and Tracy Ann Roberts, 23. Raffo was strangled. Roberts, whose last known address was in Atlantic City, died from asphyxia. Let me see if she's been verified. So that's Tracy Ann Roberts. No, it was Roberts, whose last known. Okay. Tracy Ann Roberts. Let's see. Atlantic City. And she's 23. Well, she'd be... They would put it down as for 37. All right. Not 38, maybe. No, well, there's a 44-year-old, but that doesn't make sense. Right? Yeah. Yeah, it does make sense. So she's not in there. How about Kim Raffo? Get that halfway house. Ever it's 50, so that would probably be the right one. Yeah, 80. Yep, that would be her. She's deceased in 2006. So her last. Well, there's a 9. They have a 97 address, but she wasn't, well, no, she was alive then. And then there's one in Margaret City, New Jersey, and then Florida 98, and then Florida in 2002, and nothing in New Jersey. So, oh, the bots. Yeah. Alright, serial killer? Police can't say for sure. So this is the next day. I think they finally made it. Got the other name too, which is Molly Jean Dilts. Now that authorities know the identities of all 4 women whose bodies were found behind a string of seedy motels last week, the really hard part starts, trying to determine if their deaths were the work of a serial killer. Well, that's not too hard to determine. You just kind of know it, right? The body of a woman whose identity had stymied investigators for more than a week, since it was found near 3 other corpses, was identified Tuesday as a 20-year-old from western Pennsylvania. Molly Jean Dilts was believed to have been in the ditch the longest, up to a month. So they were all 4 in a month-long period of time. And so you're going to say that 4 random people just happened to put them there? Yeah, not too likely. I'm going to be honest with you. And after this article, we're going to probably have to go have an apple break. Now that authorities... Okay, that's it. The body of a woman whose identity had stymied police, they got her name. Molly Jean Dilts was believed to have been in the ditch the longest. Atlantic County Prosecutor Jeffrey Blitz said he could not speculate on whether a serial killer is to blame for the deaths because the cause of death for 2 of the women has not been established. Right, because they were too decomposed, but the other 2 are similar. There are similarities in the 4 deaths, he said, that what we have now is 2 confirmed homicides and 2 undetermined causes of death, right? And all their faces are headed the same direction. The prosecutor noted that all 4 women were found face down in a drainage ditch behind motels along the Black Horse Pike just west of Atlantic City boundary. All were barefoot, and their heads were facing east towards the Atlantic Casino. Let's see how that would work. So that means they were all facing this way, east. It's wild. That's 2015, probably just before they tore it down. Yeah. That's just you could just tell what a pile of crap. That was just a hotel for sex workers. Right there, obviously. And they tore both of those down. But several prostitutes working along Pacific Avenue who were shown a photo of Dilts said Tuesday they had seen the woman whom they knew as Molly soliciting customers on the street. One transvestite prostitute who would not give his name said, "I dated with her." Blitz said he could not comment on the prostitute's claims and said Dilt's background is still being investigated. Joe Bacino, who owns Papa Joe's restaurant where many prostitutes buy food, said he saw Dilts a few weeks ago. She comes and goes, he said. She was always very polite with everybody in the neighborhood. Pacino said he saw no evidence she was involved in prostitution. Dilts had last been in touch with a family in Blairsville, Pennsylvania, about 42 miles east of Pittsburgh, on October 7th, authorities said. A missing persons report about her had been filed, and Dilts' fingerprints were used to learn her identity. Dilts was charged last year in Pennsylvania with assault and possession of drug paraphernalia, but did not show up for a court hearing in May, according to court records. She had no known address in Atlantic City area, authorities said. For the past week, authorities had circulated images of Dilts' tattoos in hopes she could be identified. She had a red and black tattoo of a bulldog on the small of her back and a tattoo of a Playboy bunny and a heart on her upper right shoulder and a faded tattoo that read Molly on her stomach, around her navel, above a tiny blue butterfly. So that was her like, where was her, what was her full name again? It was yeah, Molly. So that's her actual name. Local tattoo parlors had no record of her being there and said the Playboy bunny was crudely drawn, leading to speculation that it was done by an amateur. The other women had been identified as Kim Raffo, 35, Tracy Ann Roberts, 23, Barbara V. Breidor, 42. Raffo, who had been living in Atlantic City, was strangled. Roberts, whose last known address also was in Atlantic City, died from a asphyxia, but authorities do not know exactly how she was killed. Well, it's asphyxia. That, you know. What do you mean you don't know how she was? A cause of death could not be determined for Breidor, who grew up in Pennsylvania and most recently lived in Ventnor. Blitz also said the murders of 2 prostitutes and the slashing of a third earlier this year on the same street in Atlantic City do not appear to be related. They are dissimilar to the women found in Egg Harbor, he said. There were 2 bodies, one of which was set on fire, that were found in their apartments. The manner of death was with a sharp instrument. So different MO there. Okay. So, anyways, right now we're going to go ahead and take the apple break. Gotta go get one myself. And this is the time where you can help take a bite out of crime, or the apple itself, and help support the channel, because we seem to have these nights now where there's just these long, 45-minute lulls where I get like, whoa, man. Thanks, Jessica Schubach. Interesting case. Thanks for giving it the attention it deserves. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And there it is. And somebody can, if you want to help out the channel, you can buy it, take off the stem, and then everybody else gets a bite, and then eventually you can watch Blue staring and waiting for himself to get something to eat. And I myself have to go get an apple. Oh yeah, I got my apple, and it looks like you guys are really starving to go eat that apple. Hey, there we go. We got the Kathy L. And that'll pull off the stem. And then Jessica Schubach with a... There we go. The big bite there. I'm going to eat my own. My lawn is very green-gray. That is pretty green lawn, isn't it? Mm-mm. Oh, man. Gotta love those Honey Crisps. Taking a bite out of crime. Kathy Friday Maker. Yeah, I bit that at the same time. Oops. I gotta back it up. Yeah, we're only right there. Stem, 2 bites. Yeah. Hey, Jim B, I just mentioned your petition. You gotta do it. Huh? Where's drama? I don't even see drama remain on the stage in there. Where is that? Oh, that's right. Yeah, I said that earlier. You guys must have missed it when I said it live. Well, I guess we're just gonna sit here until the rest of the apple gets eaten, or I'm done with mine, and we'll just call it a day. Oh yeah. Pretty good. Hey, no problem. Jen H, thank you. That's a really red apple there. Yeah, we're only at 50% of a normal night. That's why I got to do stuff like this. These things are so juicy. Well, how do you do, Bauer? Oh, Jessica Schubach. Here we go. Thank you very much, Jessica Schubach. I want an apple now. Yeah, well, they're good. Honey Crisp apples are just so good. If you get just the right ones, you have to kind of... I don't know how to explain it. They're just... Jen B, thank you. Oh, RM Bell, thank you. Here we go. And there's Blue waiting anxiously for his bite. He just wants his share, and he can't even hold himself still because he just... You know what's weird about Blue is he shakes to get that piece of food. He's like, oh God, I can't wait. And when he gets there, he eats it so fast that he never even had time to enjoy the damn thing. Me too, BG. It's really good. Gwen, coffee time. And there's one left. One more bite of that apple. Oh, there it is. Paulette Leonard. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. And there we go. And Jessica Schubach. Yeah, you got to go to... Yeah, Fred Meyer. Do you live in the Northwest, Jessica? Okay, there you go. So now that's blue. Waiting, actually. See, where's Cairo? His buddy's on the screen. He's not even around. Cairo, it's blue all by himself, man. It's all by yourself. Or he's all by himself. See, he's just waiting. Because as soon as she's done eating... Look at him. He just can't wait. He looks good, though. Yeah. All right. Hey, Paulette, your character up there, I think, was out in the sun just a little too long. I think Fred Meyer's is like Kroger's or something. Yeah, it's one of the supermarkets out here. Sweet. Do you live in my town, Jessica? Jessica Schubach. That's right, the green forests of the Pacific Northwest. I bid you all good evening or good morning, as the case may be. Alright, so I'll be back in about 30 seconds. I gotta use the restroom now after eating my... Look at Blue, he just got it, he just got it. You just can't... You gotta get it. All right, now we're back part 2 now. Part 2. There's Blue. He just can't wait for his little meal. Yeah, he is a good boy, but he just waits because as soon as it's clear, he runs over there. At Mach 20 and just he gets right on that. I mean, he'll lick that plate absolutely clean there. like I said before, you can just put the plate right back up in the cupboard because he licks it so clean. Okay, so now we're on December 4th of that year. Expert killer will strike again soon. So that person believes it's a serial killer. The mystery is now half solved. It took several days last month for the authorities to identify the bodies of Kim Raffo, Tracy Ann Roberts, Molly Jean Dilts, and Barbara V. Breidor, all of whom are believed to have been involved in the prostitution in Atlantic City. But identifying the person who dumped, maybe even carefully arranged, I think he has a signature there, the 4 bodies behind a strip of seedy Egg Harbor Township motels might not be as easy, says an expert in forensic psychiatry. If you're dealing with someone who is very bright, it could take decades. Well, that's, we're getting there now. Bernstein, an associate professor of psychiatry at the University of Pittsburgh and an often used expert witness for serial killer trials. But Bernstein said there's enough information to begin the hunt for a serial killer. You have a ton of information, he said. You know who he's going after. You know the condition of the bodies. The thing about profiling is it's based on demographic data. Most likely investigators are looking for a white man from a lower to mid socioeconomic background. They're sitting in their mother's basement and drooling profusely. Just kidding, it doesn't say that. From a lower or mid socioeconomic background, said Bernstein, who also provided a psychiatric treatment to serial killers on death row when Pennsylvania used capital punishment. Yeah, that's great. Let's treat the serial killer's derangement and then execute them. Why waste your time? Just leave them in their damn cage. He's probably a loner, Bernstein said. Someone who has had problems with women before. See, there you go. There's the basement. And while media attention and police investigations have been intense, it won't stop the killer from soon striking again. I don't necessarily agree. I mean, I think that a lot of these killers, they actually have a normal life, and that's how they hide in plain sight. He's in a kind of driven state, Bernstein said. The need to act out is probably overwhelming. Bernstein said the killer operates in a methodical manner and probably has fantasized about killing his targets, prostitutes. For quite some time, it's unlikely the killer would target someone else, Bernstein said. This doesn't generally happen out of the blue, he said. This is not someone who is normal. It's generally a long-term ingrained behavior, and probably has done it many times before. Bernstein said anything from the loss of a job to the loss of a spouse could trigger the spree. That would be the trigger. The woman's location made it easy for the killer, he said. It's the easiest place to find victims, the easiest place to act anonymously, he said. A prostitute. It used to be hitchhikers. It's a ready-made, perfect victim. I mean, I've said that so many times. Prostitutes or sex workers are willing to get into your vehicle and into a vehicle of an unknown person, leaving their life in the hands of a possible killer, so. Because the killer has struck so rapidly, he's prone to growing more emboldened and making mistakes, Bernstein said. And that increases the chances he'll be caught. It's really about the police, he said, and you hope you catch a break. The strange case began November 20th when 2 women found the body of Raffo, 35, who lived in Atlantic City, Ocean Avenue, face down in water as they walked along an access road behind the mile-long string of motels on the Black Horse Pike, said Atlantic County Prosecutor Jeffrey Blitz. Police found the other 3 bodies just a few minutes later. So I think that might be the access road right there. Yeah, that makes sense. There's the railroad tracks, but there's this little road behind it. And then right there is the water. Oh, I see. So I think they're actually found, like, that's the access road, and then this is the water back there. So I would actually move these to back there a little bit. Like that. Because you can tell, right? I mean, let's go to 2006. When was this? December. This is November. So this is right now. This right here is 3 months prior. Well, now there's water right there, it looks like. Well, I don't know if that's water. I think this was probably water at some point. Let me look at a different. See if we can find one from. There's December. Okay. See, in December, which is close to November, you can see that there's a little water track right there, a drainage ditch. And this is June, where it was probably raining, and now you can really see that that's water right there. So, and this is the access road. This is a great photograph here. This is June 2011. You can actually see the 2-lane, the actual, tire tracks of the access road. Then there's a drainage ditch right back here. They were all face down in the drainage ditch with their heads. That means their bodies were pointing in this direction. Like that. Crazy, huh? That's a great image right there, though. That's the one. Raffo's body was found directly behind the Golden Key Motel. Now we've got it at 8050. See, we would have got to this if we just kept reading. 8050 Black Horse. Oh, that said 8030 earlier, though. Let's see what happens when you type in. Yeah, no, it was 8030. That's not right. So they just read it wrong. And plus we looked it up, so that was it, directly behind it. She was wearing camouflage pants and white Hard Rock Cafe tank top. Next to her, 148 feet, was Dilts 20. Breidor, 42, lived in Venter. She was found 90 feet east. And then Roberts, 23, was the fourth in line, who lived on Atlantic City, Tennessee Avenue, was 83 feet from Breidor. Friends have said the women all slipped into the shadows of Atlantic City nightlife. They hung out in roughly a 2 to 3 block area just off the boardwalk. Breidor, Raffo, and Roberts have records for prostitution arrests. Blitz said friends from the area have told a number of reporters that Dilts also worked as a prostitute, but there are no records of arrest. The women engaged in prostitution, friends said, to feed addictions to crack cocaine. When police found the women, November 20th, all were lying face down with their heads pointed east, Blitz said. None was wearing shoes or socks, so maybe there's a trophy that this person has, their shoes and socks, and his which might be a signature as well, and the way that they were all in the water facing east. The bodies had not been covered, but a line of shrubbery along the access road kept them from plain view, Blitz said. It's not known how long the bodies were placed there. So far this year, 6 prostitutes. Yeah, the other 2 were... Right, so here's the access road, and then there's shrubbery right there. They were in the drainage ditch on the other side. No, 8050 is across the street. Doesn't make any sense. They just mistyped it. That's what they did. Look, it's over here. It's just on the road. 8050. That's not a drainage ditch right there. That's like the ocean or whatever the hell it is, right? The drainage ditch is this thing right here, as I said earlier. See that? That's a drainage ditch. And that's exactly where the bodies were found. We already know that. This is the shrubbery. This is the drainage ditch. Okay. Then we skipped to, now we're going to go to January of 2007. Three of the 4 prostitutes whose bodies were found behind a string of seedy motels just outside Atlantic City last year were high on drugs when they died, and a 4th had alcohol in her system. Toxicological tests on Barbara V. Breidor, 42, of Ventnor, showed a high level of heroin in her body, boy, at the time of her death. 2 other victims, Tracy Ann Roberts, 23, and Kim Raffo, 35, had high levels of cocaine in their bodies at the time of their deaths. Both of the women were staying in Atlantic City. The levels of drugs, and see, that's why they were sex workers, was to feed that addiction. You know, their addiction to drugs took over any kind of rational thinking. I mean, one was even married and decided to do that. Anyone, especially prostitutes, should be exceedingly careful in dealing with people offering them heroin or cocaine for any reason. Well, no, but, you know, they did it so they could take the drugs, and maybe taking the drugs allowed them to keep doing it without feeling anything. The bodies were discovered November 20th behind several motels in Egg Harbor. So, that's the update on that. Then in 2007, in November, so like this first year anniversary here. Let's see. On November 20th, 2006, the bodies of Barbara Breidor, Molly Jean Dilts, Kim Raffo, and Tracy Ann Roberts were discovered in a ditch behind a string of cut-rate motels known for drugs and prostitution. They were barefoot, with their heads facing east towards the casinos in Atlantic City. Fear spread amid speculation that a serial killer might be on the loose on the dark side of Atlantic City, whose motto is "always turned on," became worldwide news for a few months. Since then, the clues have been few and authorities have been tight-lipped. It also kind of reminds me a lot of Lumberton. Yeah, you had 3 women murdered. Likely there might be some sex working involved there, and they did drugs, and they were discarded like trash, just like that. Oh, there it is. Okay. They lived a very bad life. I basically gave up on her. I think this is about one of them. Let's see. But relatives said Raffo grew up. I guess we have to go through each of the victims here. Hey, thanks, Lee D. And she takes a bow using the Dadio Caspian Horse's Rock Lemon Face. Let's see. Since then, the clues have been few and authorities have been tight-lipped. We fully recognize that it's been a year since the bodies of the women were discovered, said Atlantic prosecutor Theodore Hausel. This is an open, active, important investigation. We are pursuing a number of investigative techniques, including, but not limited to, additional forensic tests. Met in Brooklyn. Oslander met Kim Raffo when they were both teenagers in Brooklyn. They moved to Florida, got married, and had 2 children. Oslander worked as a carpenter while his wife took care of the kids and volunteered with the Girl Scouts. But relatives said Raffo grew bored with a life of housewife. She enrolled in a cooking class at a local technical school and met a man there who had a long history of drug use. Of course, yeah. They started an affair. Oslander took the kids and left, and Raffo and her boyfriend went to Atlantic City. When she wasn't working as a waitress, they binged on cocaine. That's just such a shitty story. Her habit grew worse, and she stopped going to work, eventually selling the only thing of value she had left, herself, on the streets of Atlantic City. That's where she did that. She started out asking for $100, but often settled for much, much less, according to police records and other prostitutes who knew her. They lived a very bad life, Oslander said. I basically gave up on her. Then I heard the news that she was in trouble. The couple's children had since been placed in foster care, and Oslander, who continues to chase carpentry work up and down the East Coast, came back from Florida to New Jersey to help her. She was extremely excited to get the hell out, he said. We went to Long Island for 5 weeks. We were happy there. But it wasn't like we were getting back together or anything. I had another life. She had another life. We were more friends helping each other out. Unfortunately, she said she had some unfinished business in Atlantic City, said Oslander, who added she didn't elaborate. We parted ways with the hope of getting together the week after that, a week too late. Raffo was the first body to be identified. An autopsy determined she was strangled with a rope or a cord and had been in the ditch for a couple of days. Her ex-husband is frustrated over the lack of an arrest in the case, but says he hasn't lost hope. I have faith in the system. I have to, he said. Otherwise, this would be a hard life to live. Terry Olson knows how to fix things, from lawnmowers, engines to household gadgets. He is known in the Salem County neighborhood as a guy who can take something broken and make it work. It's a challenge he now faces with his own life. Although they never, explicitly said so, Olson, 35, was once prosecutors' prime suspect in the hookers' deaths. He had been staying at the Golden Key Motel, the same $27 a night hot sheet hovel behind which the bodies were found just before they were discovered. Inside the Harbor Township house that was rigged with hidden video cameras, authorities discovered images of the nude 15-year-old daughter of his then-girlfriend. They arrested him in April on an invasion of privacy charge, but clearly were looking at him in the 4 hooker deaths. Olson said the questions posed to him in February by Atlantic County homicide detective appeared to be innocuous. He said he offered to help and even called them back to the motel when he found a pair of men's work boots in the building's roof one day, thinking that they might be significant to the case. Detectives questioned him again on April 2nd, this time for a much longer period. They asked me the exact same questions, and their tone was exactly the same, Olson said. Then 7 hours into the questioning, there was 100% turnaround, they said. "We know you did it." That was their exact words. At that point, Olson said he stopped talking to investigators. 4 days later, he was arrested on the videotaping charge. A judge considered bail in that case, commented that bail should be high. Does it increase the flight risk for someone to be a suspect or a person of interest in 4 homicides? Yes, Superior Court Judge William Forster said. Prosecutors asked Olson to submit DNA samples in June. Olson pleaded guilty to the nude videotaping charge. When he walked out of the Salem County Jail, that certainly spoke volumes, said his lawyer, James Leonard. If they had DNA that linked Terry Olson to any of these women, without question, they would have charged him. Shortly is a wiry prostitute, or Shorty, who has worked Atlantic City streets for the past 10 years, but can still blend in with the tourists in Pacific Avenue outside the casino's entrances. Her red dyed hair tucked under a tweed newsboy cap, wearing beige corduroy jacket and matching slacks and heels, the 34-year-old cuts a much better image than the gaunt tank top hookers in gym shorts or sweatpants that constitute much of the competition. But she does the same things her friend Kim Raffo did, for the same reason, to feed a drug habit. That is a more powerful motivator than the fear she feels over what happened to Raffo. Yeah. Shorty used to carry a knife at all times, but ditched it shortly after the killings, fearing that a violent customer might take it from her and use it against her. But now she regrets getting rid of it. "I wish I had it back," she said during an interview in the parking lot of a motel which was known for prostitution. "This one guy recently started acting crazy, and I was afraid he was going to kill me. That scared the heck out of me." She continues dating men who drive up on dating. Yeah, that's right. They put quotes around dating. "Nobody misses drug addicts," she said. "We disappear and it's normal. Nobody comes looking for it." That is an issue. They're put on the... we've gone through this many times. The reason that sex workers are put lower on a list of priority is because they knowingly and willingly put themselves in a dangerous situation, and if there is, they triage them. So if there's 2 missing people, let's say there's a 16-year-old girl walking to school and she was abducted, and maybe they find her body down the street and she'd been assaulted and strangled. Well, they're going to go after that one first over a prostitute being murdered. Now, what they need to have is more people. It's almost like what they should do is private investigators pick up the slack on some of these cases, and they get paid a rate that's sort of, keeps their lights on kind of thing. But they go out and they try to work some of these cases when there aren't enough detectives to do it. Because it's not really fair. They're people too, and they were killed by an absolute maniacal barbarian. So these are the victims again. Kim Raffo, born in Brooklyn, lived in Florida with her husband and 2 kids in 1990s, volunteering with the Girl Scouts. I think we know that one pretty well. Tracy Ann Roberts grew up in Newcastle, Delaware. She lived in Philadelphia before working in strip clubs in and around Atlantic City until she began hooking on the streets where co-workers called her the young one or the pretty one. She lived in the same rundown area of seedy rooming houses as Raffo, whom she had befriended on the streets. Wearing red hooded sweatshirt and black bra, her body had been in the ditch anywhere from a couple of days to a week. Barbara Breidor, 42, raised in Pennsylvania, rented a house in Ventnor, just outside Atlantic City. She ran her family boardwalk jewelry store and worked as a cocktail waitress before a long-time drug problem worsened and pushed her into prostitution. Prosecutors said she had a lethal level of heroin in her system at the time of her death. Authorities were unable to determine how she died, wearing blue jeans and a long-sleeve zippered shirt. She had been in the ditch for at least 2 weeks. Molly Jean Dilts, 20, grew up in Blairsville, Pennsylvania, left behind a young son with her father in Pennsylvania to head to Atlantic City after a series of drug arrests. A former fast food cook, she had never been arrested for prostitution in Atlantic City, although numerous streetwalkers said they saw her working in the sex trade as well in the short time between her arrival here and her death. Her body showed no traces of drugs, but she had been drinking just before her death, clad in a denim miniskirt. I think a lot of these people do some of these drugs so that they feel nothing, and they drink so they feel nothing while they're performing their sex acts, because they don't really like these sick, like a lot of these guys are just, well, they're all trash, these guys, okay? So I don't know how else to say it, and I'm sure some of them are just disgusting people, and so they're going to just drink up a storm so they don't even know what the hell they're doing, right? I think that's exactly what they're doing. Or take drugs, and it's just, and it makes it twice as dangerous because now you're unable to defend yourself mentally. You don't even know what's going on. All right. In 2008, still unsolved, the short brunette with long, wavy hair looked around as she stakes out a street corner on Pacific Avenue. She shoots nervous glances not only in the passing cars that might contain a date, but also up and down the side streets and alleyways, which could contain something more sinister. It has been more than a year and a half now since the bodies of 4 prostitutes were found face down in a drainage ditch just outside the city limits. Atlantic County Prosecutor Ted Housel says the deaths are sufficiently similar to make it appear that they are the work of a serial killer. Housel is asking other prostitutes I don't think I'm going to go through this whole thing, but and drug users to tell police what they know about the case, short of putting a bag of heroin on the table and asking us to hold it while you talk to us. I can promise you that you won't be pursued for anything like that, he said. On November 20th, 2006, you have to go through the bodies. They were 4 human beings with people who cared about them, people who loved them, and they deserve even the death to be treated with the respect and dignity, especially in death. Yep. In an interview with the Associated Press, Housel came as close as any law enforcement official has yet come to definitely saying the deaths are the work of a serial killer. All 4 women were found face down in a ditch behind the motels. All were barefoot and their heads were facing east. So when they say facing, does it just mean that they're turned to the side, or their entire body was laid down in that direction. Let's see. The number who now work on it are less, although Housel would not say exactly how many. That is mainly because most of the street-level work associated with the case has been done. Intense forensic investigation of evidence gathered in the case is ongoing, including DNA samples. Ooh. There's DNA, and then there's DNA, Housel said. DNA degrades. Let's say I stabbed you with a sword and I threw it in the ocean. At one point, it would be covered with your DNA, but it can wash off and chemically degrade in the water to the point, so I wonder if they're talking about semen inside the body and water got in there. The only person publicly known to have submitted a DNA sample on the case is Terry Olson, a Salem County handyman who had stayed at the Golden Key Motel shortly before the bodies were found. Okay. Location where the 4 murders took place, yeah. So this is a little bit more, well, it's 2008. Open case, hidden grief. I'm just going to move it, go forward. A lot of this is just repeated stuff. But let's see what it says right here. So, Tracy Ann Roberts. The 4 women took different paths to Atlantic City. Dilts fled poverty, leaving her 14-month-old son in the southwest Pennsylvania town of Blacklick after a run of bad luck. Roberts, also a new mother, came from Bear, Delaware to be an exotic dancer. When her drug habit left her so emaciated that clubs wouldn't hire her, she turned to prostitution. Breidor, who had a 9-year-old daughter, went to Pennsylvania State University and dreamed of a law career. She grew up in affluent Huntington Valley and spent childhood summers in Margate, I guess. She worked in the family's boardwalk business, selling trinkets to tourists, but began abusing prescription medication in the late 1980s. When Breidor moved on to the hardcore drugs, her life fell apart. She became a prostitute to support her $300 a day habit. Raffo's downfall may have been the most dramatic. Her sister, Maria Santos, had said the married mother of 2 was a Martha Stewart type and PTA mom until she had an affair with a student at a culinary school where she took classes. The man introduced her to crack cocaine. Ah, man. Within 3 years, Raffo gave up custody of her children, left her husband, and worked as a waitress before drifting to Atlantic City and turning to prostitution. Man, what a nightmare that is. Jeez. She had like a totally normal life. Well, of course they need to do, if they've got DNA, they need to do it. 2 years after Raffo's death, Miguel Santos said his wife was still dealing with the loss. It would not take a reporter's call. His wife, friends and family of Dilts, Robert, and Breidor also declined interview requests. She just doesn't want to talk about it anymore, Miguel Santos said of his wife Maria. She can't. All right. Where are we at? I wanted to know what this pledge thing here is, what they were talking about. So this is back in 2008 also. I will solve this. That is the promise someone has made to 4 prostitutes whose bodies were found face down in a drainage ditch just outside Atlantic City. In a desolate, rubble-strewn parking lot near a string of seedy motels where the bodies were found, a row of 4 crosses stand, each bearing the name of a victim. In between the bars of one of the crosses, someone has crammed a scrap of paper with this message scrawled on it in black ink. Job 24. I don't know if it's saying Job or Job 24. I will solve this. What does that mean? Job 24? Is that job? I mean, it's just job, right? I mean, it's not like there's no... It is an apparent reference to the... Oh, so it is Job. It is an apparent reference to a passage in the biblical book of Job in which he complains about violence and evil on earth. So it is biblical. Okay. The murderer rises with the light. He kills the poor and needy, and in the night he is like a thief. The passage reads, the womb should forget him. The womb should feed sweetly on him. He should be remembered no more, and wickedness should be broken like a tree. On November 20th, 2006, the bodies of Barbara Breidor, Molly Jean Dilts, Kim Raffo, and Tracy Ann Roberts were discovered behind the motel known for drugs and prostitution. They were barefoot, with their heads facing east towards the casino. The note was seen Thursday tucked into the arms of Raffo's cross. There was no way to tell how long it had been there, but it did not appear to have been damaged by exposure to rain or harsh weather, so it was new, indicating it may have been placed there fairly recently. A spokeswoman for the Atlantic County Prosecutor's Office declined comment on the note other than to say all evidence in the case is being examined. Despite the lack of an arrest in the case, Prosecutor Ted Housel insists the case has not gone cold. In an active investigation in this office, and we continue to expend both time and resources in the investigation, he said. Fear spread amid speculation that a serial killer might be on the loose. Well, there is one. Since then, the clues have been few. But in June, he told the AP that the deaths were sufficiently similar to make it appear. So they were similar enough to make it appear that they were a serial killer. So there was these 4 guys that said, hey, why don't you go kill somebody? We'll put him down there. We'll make it look like it was a serial killer. He said at the same time, authorities had interviewed and questioned many possible suspects. The only person publicly known, we already said that. He came to authorities' attention through an unrelated case. The videotape. Alright, so anyways, that's that. And then we've got another one on August 23rd, 2009. Man-eyed and prostitution death still targeted. So that's the same guy. They were still... It's Ruined My Life, Terry Olson. They kept looking at him over and over and over again. And then we've got now these articles. Sex workers slaying 15 years later remain unsolved. But actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this one that's from 3 days ago. Probe of quadruplet South Jersey homicide intensifies. And you know why, I guess. I haven't looked this yet, but I guarantee it's because they found some DNA. I don't think this is correct right here. Body 1. They have these spaced perfectly out almost, and I think we had it more accurate. Oh, you got the Muntz mug. All right. In hair 30s. In her 30s, I mean. In hair. It's been 15 years since the discovery of the bodies of 4 women dumped in a drainage ditch. The investigation remains active. The Atlantic County prosecutor's office is committed to continuing the investigation. On November 20th, 2006, the 4 female victims were found behind the former Golden Key Motel in West Atlantic City. The drainage ditch runs parallel with Route 322 and contains freshwater runoffs. It is 5 feet deep and 10 feet wide. Well, here we go. Let's go down here and watch this. So we're going to go there, and we're going to get this measuring tape out here. We're going to start right here, and we're going to go across, and let's do 10 feet. 10 feet's like that. Okay, that is the drainage ditch. There's no doubt about it. Yeah, so we got that. Well, Gray was a little bit over. Oh my God. On November 20th, 2006, the 4 females were found behind the former Golden Key Motel. The drainage ditch runs a parallel to Route 322. 15 years later, we have not made an arrest for these homicides, but we're always looking. We're always working and re-examining information. Egg Harbor Township Police Chief Michael Hughes was a detective at the Egg Harbor Township Police Department 15 years ago when the bodies of Kim Raffo, 35, Molly Dilts, 20, Barbara Breidor, 42, and Tracy Roberts, 23, were found. I remember that night like it was yesterday and getting the phone call about the bodies of the women that were discovered. I knew that I had to get there immediately, Hughes said. This case is still open and active as can be, and I would not consider it cold by any means. Yeah. So they're not really saying it much more, but it's heating, it intensifies, so that means something is going on behind the scenes here. Probably DNA, I'm sure, since they said that they had it. Yeah, I have that same article. So there's one of them. I doubt they put them. I think they put crosses there, but they're not exactly where they were found. Yeah, I mean, obviously those are right next to each other. So what's this, just a reunion? I mean... Yeah, it's not correct. I'm going to go back to that first one that we used. There we go. So it says right here underneath this image, it says, an aerial view of where the bodies of 4 women were found in Egg Harbor Township. White dots on the photo indicate the bodies. Okay, now what I see on here is this one, and that one. And let me try it. I'm going to flip it around so it matches what they have. Yeah, so these two are good. Yeah, and that one's good. Yeah, see, these are all, I mean, these are perfect, you know? You know what? There's one missing, though. This one's missing. It's weird, though, because it's... Okay, this one needs to be... Well, it's interesting. They don't have it measured correctly, though, because I measured it exactly... Let me just show you. See this white thing here? Let me zoom in on this so you can... So, right here, you're looking at that, it looks kind of, you know, boom, and then this one's past that. But then there's this little road here, and then it's right, basically right off of that. So that means it should be, this one in their map is right here. And that's why it looks so close to this one, but that's not right because we measured it, the correct distance between them. So I think it was just somebody like drawing on a, I mean, obviously that's not an aerial shot of the white. They drew the dots on there. So I think whoever drew them there did it incorrectly, because this one is, yeah, absolutely. Let me try to get the exact shot that they have here. Here, I'm gonna go back to an earlier time where they actually have the parking. There was a time when there was parking stalls in there that you could see right there. See those lines? So now we got the lines in there. Now look how amazing this kind of stuff is. Watch this right here. See right there how there's these little parking stall things, and then right there's those two that are really close together, and you look at them and you go, oh, why do those two look close together like that? You see what I'm saying? Can you see that, or is it too small? Here, let me zoom in. See right there, the parking stalls, they're nice and evenly spaced out, pretty much. And then all of a sudden there's these two that are really close. Can you see that? Yeah, okay, so watch this. Look at right there. Exactly the same. Bing, 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 bing. Too close together. See, that stuff's crazy, right? When you look at it, you go, okay, you know. So then you can really dial in what you're looking at on the overhead map, right? So you look at it on the map here, and so let's say these are kind of straight lines. So now we know how to count these. So we can go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, the fifth one over, straight across. If that one happens to be accurate, right? So then you could go to this one and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, straight across. So I had that one in the right spot just randomly. I mean, not randomly, I was just eyeballing what they had. Then in the newspaper articles, I measured from here to here based on the description, the distance apart, and these are exactly where all of those were said to have been. So I think we've got it right and the newspaper doesn't. Okay, unless the article was wrong on the you know, how many feet apart it was. But I think they're missing. There's another one that is, see this road right there? That one's in the right spot, but there should be another one. Oh, well, you can see it right here on the map. See right that little clump right there? That's right here. Different time of year, so the trees are thicker, but you can even see that is here. Well, you guys can't see it. Let me go to the other screen. Hold on a second. Yeah, now you can see it. Okay. So I'll move it like this. Right here is right there, and then even that little part is right there. Then this, boom, boom. They have this one about right here, but it's not right. So to go here across, see, this one is even in the right spot. They just don't have it on this map here because it would be right over here. So, anyways, there you go. So the image where they drew the white dots, they weren't correct. Yeah. So anyways, I think that is going to be it, you guys. But isn't that cool? I think they're going to make some discoveries here. There's no way in 2006 they didn't collect the data, the evidence correctly. That's well into, you know, forensic advancements and knowing about DNA and that kind of thing. So it sounds like they've got some DNA. I hope you guys found that interesting tonight. A little shorter show. Maybe we'll have... hold on. Oh, man. I was out in the rain today. We're going to have Jen B call in soon. Probably not tonight because it's already 2 hours and 41 minutes. So you got to explain the Jason Landry fund and tell us what she thinks about it. Okay, shut down the window that had all the super chats on it. Thank you. What do you mean, why DNA now? What does that mean? I don't get what you're saying when you say that. Huh? Because now they can do forensic genetic genealogy, that's why. That's the big difference. You might have had DNA, it didn't help you find anybody, but now you can actually go look and find the guy using genealogical services. Does that make sense? Alright. So thank you to Cassandra Morris, Cairo, Your Gypsy, Patty Barnett, Marty McFly, Lee D, Diamond Painting and Anxiety, Mary Glaviano, Amber Maiden, Lee D, Rita Schaefer, Cindy Leon, Linda Howell, as in Linda Molden Howe, the cattle mutilations and crop circles, Dodie D, Georgina Stoliker, Alice Patak, Mary Ellen DeMilo, Yep, Sister Sirius New York, Kathy Freidenmaker, Jessica Schubach, Kathy L, Jessica Schubach, Kathy Freidenmaker, Jen H, Claudia Neubauer, Jessica Schubach, Jen B, R.M. Bell, Gwen, Paulette Leonard, Jessica Schubach, Lee D, and in her 30s. Yep. Why DNA now? Because they've had the DNA, and they're probably now going to try genetic genealogy. Although I can't see what you retracted, so I don't know what you followed up with. All right, everybody. Thank you guys very much. I appreciate it, and I thought that was pretty interesting. So we'll. Oh, there they are. There they are. Give you guys a few minutes of the Chloe and Bluey show. Chloe and Bluey. Jeez, I'm sleepy. Plus my nose is stuffed up. It was so cold and wet out there. Hope I don't get a cold or like an actual cold. So what are you saying there, TTGO Tracy? Trying to figure out what you were trying to get at. I mean, we have a ton of cases that are being solved because of genetic genealogy, and that's why it's a big deal now. After all these years, they probably went, oh, you know what? Let's see if we can collect some DNA. They're probably maybe even already have a genealogist working on it. Yep. Yeah, I've never even heard of this one, which is weird. I mean, this is an interesting one. I think the reason you don't hear about it too much is because it's 4 sex workers. But let's not mistake that the fact that it could have easily, in the 1970s, that same person would have picked up hitchhikers, unless part of the reason he was killing them is because of what they do. All right. All right, everybody. Thank you guys very much. We will. Hey, you guys should head over to Discord and chat up a storm. But we'll see you guys tomorrow, and I don't know if it'll be Serial Killer Sunday, but it'll be something. But anyways, thank you guys very much, and as I always say, everybody, until next time, be safe out there. I think I'm just gonna go straight to the end so I can go rest. Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now. And during this whole time, I have not seen one person
Ashley.
that is a crime dissector, threat rejector. I'm a certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Grader's gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector. And I'm always gonna be a puppet.
Well, how come? I got one. Why would you get one?
I
don't know, Grant. Maybe we're connected in some way.
With a vector on his pector, with all respect, y'all. Just remember, I've a temple fucking check ya. I have no agenda. I'm a pretender. And I'll see the day straight without the blender. And in the end, I'm gonna send ya on a mission to reveal the true offender.
All right, everybody. Thank
so
you.
let's get right back to work. All right, everybody.
Thank you.
Yeah, hey, thanks, Mary Lou. Jesus. All right, everybody. We'll see you guys later. And as I always say, until next time, be safe out there.